Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this fun little fall-themed card using the To Every Season stamp set and coordinating punches. So let me set this aside and we'll get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is bring in my piece of very vanilla cardstock, and I am going to start by inking up the largest leaf image in the crushed curry, and I am going to stamp that randomly around the card front. I'm going to keep it about an inch up from the bottom, and I'm going to re-ink so that I have full strength each time. Then the next thing I'm going to do is bring in this medium leaf. It's being stamped in our new terracotta tile in color, and I'm going to place those randomly also around the card front, leaving them above that bottom edge. And finally I'm going to bring in this cute little maple leaf, and I am going to stamp that in our Mary Merlot. I'm turning this image randomly so that it looks more natural, and I am inking up each time in between. And then if I want to, I can bring back in my other images to kind of fill that space in. So there we go. I've got the card front done. And I am going to finish my stamping by also stamping this large leaf in the crushed curry, and then the sentiment in the Mary Merlot. And then I'm going to stamp three. Oops, sorry, I need to pay attention to the direction of my punch. So I'm going to stamp three of these little maple leaves so that I can punch them out. And I'm ready to move on to that step. So I'm going to bring in my little maple leaf here and punch one. This little set is so much fun with its different shapes for all the holidays. I love the fact that this one set gives us everything that we need for the winter and fall, and even into Valentine's Day. And I'm going to punch out that sentiment using my 1.5 circle punch so that I've got that aside. And then I'm going to bring in my label, my story label punch, and I'm going to punch out a story label out of the terracotta tile. And to finish off my stamping, the last thing I'm going to do is add a little leaf here on the inside panel so that it's all ready to go when I assemble. So let me show you how I did that. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is add my medallion, my label punch, and I'm going to adhere that where I want it. And what this is going to do is give me a placement for my ribbon. And I'm going to flip this over and add a little bit of my snail adhesive along the two edges, approximately where my ribbon would go. And then I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon to length. I like to leave about a 1/2 inch for each side. Now that I've got my ribbon ready to go and that adhesive on the back, I can turn this over and adhere, and then turn this over on this side and adhere again. And as you can see, because I put that long piece of snail there, it's catching it. And I can simply lift this ribbon off and adjust it as need be. Now this ribbon is lovely, but it does have a little bit of a twist to it, so you might need to tack down your ribbon if it's moving and giving you a little bow with a mini glue dot to keep it in place. Okay, I've got my ribbon attached, and I am ready to flip this over and add it to my terracotta tile cardstock piece. So I'm going to bring that in and adhere this down. And then I can bring my card in, and I can adhere this to my card base. There we go. And now I'm ready to finish off my front. So what I'm going to do is bring my sentiment in here. I'm going to use some of my dimensionals, and I'm going to put it at the top and the bottom of this sentiment. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that it straddles that ribbon, so that it's not attached to the ribbon and lifts up. This will hold the ribbon in place also. So I've put that down. Then I'm going to bring in a few of my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I love these because I don't have to cut anymore. And I am going to add these cute little maple leaves popped up. I'm going to do that randomly on my card front, twisting and turning so that it has an organic feel, and at this point I can even overlap if I want to. Okay, now I'm ready to add my embellishment, and I happen to be using my gold metallic pearls. I thought these brought in a nice feel for the fall. I'm going to add a pearl randomly in the background here. I'm going to add 3 of those just to add a little pop of metallic, and then I'm going to also add 1 on each side of this sentiment, and that'll complete my card front. And I'm ready to fold this close and use my bone folder so that's nice and sharp, and then add the panel that I stamped earlier to the inside. So I'm going to add a little adhesive to that and adhere that down. There we go. So let me show you the original again. If you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.